Hey everybody, Werewolf here. Sonic the Hedgehog, we know him as the Blue Blur, the speedy hedgehog, the fastest thing alive. And now we know him as one of the highest grossing video game movie characters of all time. Just recently, the Sonic movie was released on February 14th, 2020, Valentine's Day. I just saw it about 1 week ago with my grandmother. We loved it. She loved it mainly because of Jim Carrey and James Marsden, and I loved it for the fact that, not only that, but it's also about one of my favorite video game characters of all time. Step aside, Mario. Sonic's coming in. Not to mention with a better movie than you. Now, who is Sonic exactly? Well, I'll keep it brief. In 1991, Naoto Oshima, a designer for Sega, was drawing out different characters to be used for a new game. Sega was working to create a new mascot for the company as Alex Kidd, another Sega game, wasn't doing too well. The Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive for the Japanese and PAL regions, needed a mascot to sell. Oshima created a bunch of characters, including one that would eventually become Dr. Eggman. And one character in particular stuck out. His name was Sonic. Well, not yet. The original name was Mr. Needlemouse, a literal Japanese translation of hedgehog. Had fangs, more spikes, and even had a tall, blonde human girlfriend named Madonna. The human character was dropped to appeal to American audiences, but we don't need to talk about that. His design was changed and the name was changed as well to Sonic the Hedgehog. The first Sonic game released on the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis on June 23rd, 1991, to massive success for Sega. Since then, he has appeared in many other games. Some amazing, some great, some good, and some, well, yeah. Now, on to the movie. Spoiler warning for those who haven't seen the movie yet. I'll give you 10 seconds to click off. Are we good? Good. Let's go. So, with this movie, I literally was going into it like, okay, it's a movie about Sonic, I don't know what to expect. But this movie really caught me by surprise, by a long shot. First of all, the really cool thing, I don't usually, watch this for the logos. I mean, I like watching logo histories, it's really cool to see the evolution of logos and movie logos throughout history. Like, Paramount, actually just recently. Warner Brothers, Disney even. But my god, this variant was perfect. So, for the Paramount logo, they changed the stars to rings. And while the rings were going through, you heard the bling 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 sound effect whenever, they were going up. And on top of that, the music in the background was just like the first couple notes to Green Hill Zone. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, nice. Then the Sega logo. Oh dear God. Wow. So what they did was they actually had, the game, probably if they're going to make movies about other games, probably what they're going to do is they're going to have the game that they're talking about, or the game the movie is about, in the center where it comes out. Kind of like what they did with Sonic just recently. So they had, Sonic going through the years, all the way leading up to, I think it was up to Generations, I believe. So it was up from Sonic 1 to Generations. I wish they had gone further to maybe about Sonic Forces, even Sonic Mania, but highly doubt that would work. Anyway, but also around it, you could see other games like Space Harrier 3D, Alex Kidd, and even commercials. I just briefly, you could barely see it, but even in the corner, you could see the Genesis commercial. It says, Genesis does what Nintendo don't. I literally sat there laughing to myself like, nice job at Nintendo. Good one. But yeah, and also what was even better is once the logo materialized into the Sega logo, if you listen closely, not only does the music notes do, if you listen closely, you can hear the choir saying, Sega! And I literally sat there laughing to myself in the seat like, good one. I was waiting for it. I was kind of waiting for that. I was waiting to hear a more louder Sega, but what's even funnier is the theater I was in, everyone yelled it out. except for my grandmother, of course, because she doesn't know Sonic, she doesn't know Sega, she doesn't know the games. But everyone in my theater, literally everyone, as soon as it came out, we shouted out Sega, and I was like, oh dear God. Anyways, but the funny thing about it was, what I loved about it the most was just the story itself. Like, Sonic's on his world, and actually I heard this planet is called Planet Freedom. I guess, I don't know. I just kept hearing that. But the cool thing about it was the story. It drifted away from the games, which is okay. Because actually it drifted from other media as well. Not only the games, but other media as well. For instance, the, like Sonic Underground, where he had his mother and his, brother and sister. Or the Sonic the comic, where, Dr. Kintobor, who would become Robotnik, actually helped him become the Speedy Hedgehog. That's not the case here. In this movie, Sonic is born with the powers, but maybe his parents died and he was orphaned or something? I have no idea. Maybe it was because of the Echidna tribe. Yes, they're in the movie. The Echidna tribe is... oh my Jesus. Like, that was a really, really nice nod to Knuckles, which is why I'm waiting in a sequel. Not only will they add Tails, which he's in a post-credit scene. Ding, ding, ding. Well, mid-credits. Anyways, he's in a mid-credit scene. Ding. But they might add Knuckles as well, because they add the Echidna tribe. But maybe what's going to happen is, just like in Sonic Adventure, where they're going to have, like, Knuckles be the last Echidna of the Echidna tribe, and then he goes after Sonic for some reason. Maybe. And what I'm thinking is, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's going to be like, oh, and then Sonic just keeps going at him, saying, you killed Longclaw, which was his guardian over, the course of his life until he was left out on Earth when, they were chased down by the Echidna tribe. But the funny thing about it, the thing I loved about it was mainly the idea that they drifted away from the games just to make it original, which is a good idea. I like that idea. Make it as original as possible. And they did that. They did that perfectly. I thought that was a good rendition of the character. And they drifted away from the games a bit, which was a nice touch. But what's even funnier is the fact that my grandmother now knows this movie as the main story of Sonic, rather than, the story of the games. Now, what I'm thinking is going to happen is maybe they're going to bring it into the game some way, or maybe just go off in their story. In fact, I remember seeing comments on a video talking about the intro, because someone recorded the intro and put it on YouTube. Not the intro to the movie, but like the logos and stuff. But someone even say, here it is, the beginning of the SCU, the Sonic Cinematic Universe. I'm like, it's not going to get to the level of Marvel, but it'll try. Because they perfectly set it up for a sequel. I mean, Robotnik's stuck on the Mushroom Planet, Tails. They perfectly set it up, which is awesome, which is why I can't wait to hear a sequel. In fact, Jeff Fowler, the director, even said himself that he's talking to the writers to work on something because of the success. In fact, I just saw a tweet recently, actually just a couple minutes ago while recording this. The Quartering just tweeted out that Sonic has raced past $200 million worldwide. Holy crap, yeah, that's what I deem as success. In fact, if I look it up, the Sonic movie, if I look at the Sonic movie budget, was $95 million US. Like, that's beautiful. That's, like, perfect. And I love it for the fact that it made back its money and then some, to the point where it reached $200 million. So if you do the math, 200 million minus 95 million, $105 million made back to possibly make the next film. Which is awesome. I love that idea. Like, so here's the thing. The animation company, Marza Animation, just closed their Vancouver studio. But thankfully, all the character models have been saved. All the, rigs and animation rigs have been saved. So pretty much they're going to be using the same rig for the entirety of the series if they're making a series of films. In fact, I think I heard a rumor that it's possibly going to be a trilogy, much like how the games are. So maybe like Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles. That'd be hilarious if they pull that off. I'd laugh if they do that and they don't introduce Knuckles to like a third or fourth movie. That's pretty genius. and then they make a version where it was that would be awesome if they did that intentionally. Like, intentionally they take the Sonic movie 3 and then Sonic movie 4, or Sonic and Knuckles, and they mean for that to be a 4-hour movie, and then it says, with lock-on technology, you can put the movies together. But in reality, they're just going to sell a version where it's the whole entire thing on, like, a Blu-ray disc. I would laugh if I saw that. That'd be awesome if they did that. I think that'd be really cool. I highly doubt it, but I think that'd be a really nice touch, and a good reference to the games. Because Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles were supposed to be one game, but due to time constraints, they separated them, and also due to hardware constraints as well, they split them up. But the thing I liked about this movie the most was probably not just the story, but the acting. Like, the relationship between Ben Schwartz and James Marsden in the role of Sonic and Tom Wachowski was perfect. It was like a buddy cop movie kind of deal. A buddy cop movie with kind of a run from the law kind of deal. It was really, really cool. And on top of that, I love the game references in the entire film. For instance, you know, we saw in the trailer where the road sign where he's playing ping pong says Hilltop Road, which is a reference to Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2. The crest that's on the bandana is a reference to Sonic 1 and 2. Excuse me. You know, he makes a ton of references to other films, including talking about Vin Diesel, which is awesome because the producers are from the Fast and the Furious, which is a nice touch. Let me think about it here. One of my favorite things, though, from the film was a couple of small game references. For instance, one of the poses used by Sonic in the part of the game, from the games in the movie, was the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate pose that was used during a scene where he was jumping from a car to escape one of the rockets shot by Robotnik. But the cool thing about it is just the sheer idea that this movie success over the fact of fan nostalgia. That's where I'm getting with here. Fan nostalgia is what really pulled it. They made references to previous games and previous media. They redesigned the character, even though, you know, here's the thing. So when I went into this movie, I didn't expect many fan references because I thought it was just going to be, oh, it's strictly a Hollywood film, and it's just, Twitter just ruined me with this. But the references were all over the place. There was even a road sign I didn't notice until I looked at a breakdown of Easter eggs, where there was a Mega DR Mega Drive. When I first saw that, I'm like, I didn't even notice that. That's cool. But the biggest thing about it was probably Tails when he was in the mid-credit scene. That was the fun thing, because literally I was sitting in my seat, like, gasping for air. I was so surprised. I was at a Regal, and they had the reclining chairs, so I was reclined fully, watching the movie. I'm like, wait, who's this? My grandma was like, So I heard there was a mid-credit scene, and a character's supposed to come out of it, but I don't know who. All of a sudden, Tails comes out. I was like, oh, what? It caught me by surprise. I was like, oh my god, they set it up for a sequel. Beautiful. So, I thought that was an awesome idea that they did with that, but anyways. But I really love the references in the film. I love the fact that it's a PG movie, so it's a family movie. And it is about a cartoon hedgehog. And I mean, it's about a video game character we grew up with, that either 90s kids or, you know, kids that played, you know, recent games like Sonic Mania. This includes me. I became a Sonic fan in about 2011 after, no, actually 2013, about a couple years after Generations came out. And I think that's when Lost World came out, so... Anywho, but I was a fan since then, and, you know, I've been working on other things, including a piece of artwork right here, which is something I made as a little jab at cosplayers. If they ended up at Sonic's World, and yeah, he's asking Longclaw, do other versions of me exist in other worlds? She's like, I have no idea. So, it's like, I have no idea. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Sonic flosses, but I'm gonna let it pass because it's a kid's movie. It's a PG movie, and a lot of kids love the floss dance, so I'll give it a pass. He doesn't do it once, but twice, but again, I'll let it pass, just because it's a PG film. It's a kid's movie. It's meant for kids. But it's also... It's for all generations, pun intended. So, it's for kids because of its goofy demeanor, its comedy, and the fact that it's about a video game character that a lot of people enjoy. And also, not only that, but it's also for the fans because A, we are the reason the design changed. I think that and the general public as well didn't really like the design, so they changed it. So the design changed because of the fans, and there are references all over the place that reference games, past media, and even jabs at other games. This includes when Sonic says, "I hate mushrooms," while looking through the ring, seeing the mushroom planet he was supposed to go to that he sends Robotnik to at the end of the film. And I was thinking that was a jab at Mario because Mario eats mushrooms in order to grow larger. So I'm thinking it's a jab at Mario. I have no idea why, people would think that, but I think it is. Anyways, I think what's funny though is that the controversy surrounding the film post redesign is pretty hilarious. That's why I'm moving on now to the controversial section. Mainly due to the fact that it's going to show a bunch of tweets that have either make no sense talking about the movie, or are just people complaining that Birds of Prey, a rated R, hard rated R film, is failing, and they blame the Sonic movie for that. You can't compare it. You really can't. Sonic is a kid's movie. It's PG. Yes, hell is said once. But usually, I think one swear word, I think hell, damn, they pass. They pass for a PG if they're said once. I think it's the same. It's the same with all ratings. Like, PG, only hell and damn pass if they're said once. PG-13, fuck is said once. If that's said once, then it passes. If it's said more than once, if there's a lot of swearing, then it gets to rated R. I'm thinking that's how it works, because I even remember seeing a PG movie recently. I think it was Incredibles 2, and damn is said once. So I'm pretty sure that if it's said once, and only once, it passes. Because what happens is, there's a scene with Tom trying to distract Robotnik to make sure that Sonic gets up, because after Sonic runs around the world with the different rings, referencing past levels, because he runs into Paris, he runs down, San Francisco while being chased by Robotnik, which I think is a reference to City Escape from SA2. He runs in the Great Wall of China, which I think is a reference to Sonic Unleashed. Then he runs on the pyramids, which I think is a reference to Pyramid Cave, dare I say it. I think I was in Sonic 06, dare I say it, but I don't know. It was either in Sonic Adventure 2 or 06, but I remember one of the games there was a level called Pyramid Cave, which I think was a reference with the pyramids. But he runs on top of the pyramid, tries to go through the ring, but Robotnik shoots him and knocks him out. So as soon as he lands, what happens is Tom uses one of the rings to distract Robotnik, so that way he could get on top and say to him, "Go a long way." And it's, Robotnik keeps punching him, and he looks at him and says, "Who the hell do you think you are?" Just gets bopped in the face by Tom, and then when Tom... I love this line mainly because of the self-censoring. I love it. I love it when kids' movies do this, try to self-censor themselves, and they're about to say, like, "Oh, you son of a bitch," when they're about to say it, and they self-censor themselves. That's pretty nice. I actually find that hilarious, that they use something to block a swear word. I get it that a lot of movies, they want it to be PG-13, especially I heard their movie was originally going to be PG-13. But I still think it's funny. The self-censor thing is just kind of hilarious to me. I don't know if it is to other people, but I think it's hilarious. So at one point, because Sonic has a nickname for Tom, calling him the Donut Lord, because Tom's a cop. And he eats a bunch of donuts, the stereotype of police. But, he's the protector of the town and protector of creatures big and small. So what ends up happening is, what happens is Tom pins him down for a second. It says, "I'm the Donut Lord, you son of a..." And then a Robotnik elbows him in the chin, shutting him up. Just to prevent him from saying bitch. And again, I find it hilarious. I just think it's really funny. Because I'm like, okay, well, self-censoring is kind of funny to me. I don't know if it is to other people, but it is funny to me. But to get further onto the controversy, there was a tweet recently that I saw on Twitter from this one person that actually has a Birds of Prey profile picture. I'll show it right here. So this tweet is really, really stupid. I do not understand why you're using the floss scene in order to say grown-ass people going to see this movie rather than this. I'm like, well, so what? It's a family movie. It's meant for all ages, for God's sake. You're just using it as a way to say Birds of Prey shouldn't have failed. Nice try, buddy. Jeez, I swear to God, every time I hear that, it's just, drives me insane. To make it worse, I remember seeing a bunch of tweets from someone. I don't remember where it was, but I gotta find it. But with all the news stories surrounding fan-influenced movies, and this includes IGN. IGN even did an article on this. Also, there was also some other tweets that were from bots that were saying, "Oh, the Sonic movie has homophobic slurs." Where exactly? I just saw the movie. I heard nothing. Like, the fact that people do this just to make their movie succeed is stupid. I heard Birds of Prey is a good movie, but it's not doing too well, and that's because people were turned off by the marketing. The marketing was pro social justice and anti-men, I guess. I don't know. I didn't watch much of the trailers because I really didn't care. That's the thing. Most people just don't care. I personally do not care for DC movies unless it interests me. Unless I see a trailer that interests me. Birds of Prey, I saw the trailer once and I was already cut off by it. I was already put off by it. Sorry, I meant to say that. It just didn't feel right to me. It honestly didn't. Yeah, sure, it has a good actor, Ewan McGregor, and it also has Margot Robbie. But those two could definitely have put this up further if the marketing was well. If the marketing did good, the movie might have succeeded.
Now back to the review. Swah, 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 swah.
The music. Oh my god, the music. As you heard in the beginning of this video, was a piano rendition of Green Hill Zone. That was actually a song that was in the movie. It was near the end, after the fight with Robotnik, after Sonic sends him into the mushroom world through the ring. This like nice soft piano, then it gets cut off when the major or the lieutenant or whoever, the government official, when he goes to the house and hands them the Olive Garden gift card, which, by the way, that's another product placement. I thought that was hilarious. They had another product placement of Olive Garden, which is a pretty nice touch. They had that. They had memes all over the place. Like I mentioned, I think I mentioned this. I'm not sure if I did, but one of the characters one of the human characters, part of Green Hills, is Crazy Carl, and he did a really, really crude drawing of Sonic, or he called the Blue Devil. And oh my god, I thought it was hilarious when I saw the Sonic meme on the page. And it was like, oh, wait a minute, the Sonic. So yeah, there's the Sonic meme inside the movie, which is really, really hilarious and really cool. I bet the guy that made the meme was happy that his meme made it into a film. Jeez. But I think what was really, really awesome about, let me get back to the music. The music was amazing. Like, especially the song that was for the credits that got released before the film. That was done by Wiz Khalifa, Secure the Child, Lil Yachty, and Ty Dolla $ign. It's called Speed Me Up. And that was actually, you heard a 16-bit rendition of it earlier in the video. You know, it's a really, really awesome song. I loved it. I think what was even more wholesome was in one of the videos, there was a live Jimmy Kimmel video, and it was them performing Speed Me Up live. I think what was nice was the fact that there was a nice touching tribute in the song, because in the original song, what Ty Dolla $ign says, it's like, rings on me like Kobe Bryant, rings on me like 23. But he switched it up as a nice tribute to Kobe by saying, rings on me like Kobe Bryant, rings on me like number 8. I'm like, oh, that's such a nice, it was such a nice tribute. I gotta be honest. As much as I really don't care about NBA, Kobe was a damn legend. He was a legend. We all can admit that. Except for some people on Twitter, as was mentioned before. Anywho, trying to get off controversy again. So, but yeah, Speed Me Up was an amazing tune. Honestly, I loved it. I think it was a really awesome, song as a theme for the movie. I think what was even better was the orchestral music was really, really awesome. And I'm a cello player, so I really enjoyed listening to a ton of music like that. But what's even better is the credits themselves, the visual credits, not the scrolling ones. The scrolling ones, okay, the text was to the same text as the logo for the movie, but the visual credits, or mid credits, if you will. Oh my god! Wow. So what they did with this was they replicated them perfectly by having it look like a 16-bit Sonic game, and they had the text looking like the same font and style that they use in Sonic Mania, and especially the scenes. Oh, they were so well animated. I actually was going to go to Twitter asking who made the credits, but I want to wait until after the movie comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, saying who made these. I want to know, like, was it Mars Animation or was it Sega themselves? Like, did they make this? Was Christian Whitehead on the team too? I thought of that. Anyways, that should be the end of this video. It's getting too long anyway, so I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. So, Furry Valley. Let me talk about the server for a second. As an admin of the server, I really enjoy working on it. I really enjoy being on the team, especially for the YouTube team with our little floof boy Nova. If you saw in the last video I made, which was the Furry Jedi Speed Art, Nova was one of the Jedi present, so was the owner, Simba. Both of them are really, really awesome co-workers, I could put it, because now I'm working on the server, technically speaking. So they're really, really awesome people to be around. I really enjoy their company, especially in podcasts. We do podcasts every Monday. We do Cards Against Humanity games every Wednesday, Sunday, and Saturday, I believe. I'm trying to remember the dates. I'm a little bit new. I've been on the server for only a couple months, but I'm already level 3, so. But I'm also on the Party Games admin team, so I host a couple of tables for Cards Against Humanity. We also do Jackbox I think that's every Wednesday night or Saturday night, I believe. I'm not trying to steer you wrong, but if someone in the comments who's on the server knows, please do put it in there for the right information. I'd like to keep that in mind. But on top of that, also, we have an amazing team for, basically, it's just an awesome furry community, and I really enjoy being part of it, especially being a part of the YouTube team where I get to do things like this. Yay! So, yeah. So links in the description of all the different links for Furry Valley, for the Telegram chats, for the Discord chats, and also for the 2 different Discord servers. We have the normal server and the After Dark server, which is 18+, so get going. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, like it. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. And, hey, come over to Furry Valley, the place that we call home. See you in the next video.